Well, will you look at that? As predicted on this show, 65 years after JFK, it is over. The Kennedy magic is finally gone. America has moved on, and rightfully so. There's only one Kennedy working in politics today. It is Robert F. Kennedy Jr. He's a Republican, and he works for Donald Trump. How the mighty have fallen. Emerson College out with a new poll this week, and JFK's creepy grandson, Jack Schlossberg, is in third place, trailing two people that I've never heard of by double digits. With the primary now just 2 weeks away in the New York 12th congressional district, the Kennedy family apparently freaking out at what is becoming a major embarrassment to the family because the Kennedys have never had anything happen to them that's embarrassing before. To discuss, joining us, Maureen Callahan, host of the Nerve podcast. She's also the author of Ask Not, excellent book about all of the Kennedy women. Maureen, welcome back. Do you think it's finally over for the Kennedy family?
Thanks for having me, Rob. And yes. Okay, tonight, Jack Schlossberg, this is his pull in case of emergency cord. He is hosting a dance party at New York City's Terminal 5, and his special guest is David Letterman. There is an entry fee.
Okay. A dance party. It's not like this guy hasn't gotten any help from the media and the David Lettermans of the world. So here's a headline in New Yorker. This is this week. Jack Schlossberg makes his case, and it's like this fawning piece about the Kennedy dynasty. Here's another one. Jack Schlossberg wears his grandfather John F. Kennedy's tie on the campaign trail. He was featured on CBS Sunday Morning. Here's another. Inside Jack Schlossberg's chaotic campaign to revive Camelot. And he's still losing, Maureen. He's still in third place. What do you make of that?
I'm very gratified because for a time it looked like the winds were at his back and the media was going to push this guy over the edge just based on a brand name alone. Make no mistake, the Kennedys are like a mega corporation, okay? This is a brand. The CBS Sunday Morning piece was fascinating because it did not address literally the skeletons in the room. Jack Schlossberg lives in a very expensive apartment off of Fort Trust. This is a middle-aged man who has never had a job, never had a real job. We're not really talking about that. We're not asking, hey, dude, why are you living amongst life-size skeletons? Real skeletons, I believe. The New York Times got close. They put their hand, they touched the third rail, then quickly came back. One of their original pieces, that original piece about Jack inside that chaotic campaign, which led with multiple sources saying, I fled that thing like a house on fire. You want to know why? On launch day, we had a ton of interviews lined up for Jack. He announced that he needed to go home and take a nap.
Wait, okay, hold on. I think I have this New York Times piece. The original, if this is the one you're talking about, and he's entitled Nepotistic, This Is Not What Democrats Need. That was from the New York Times. And then I believe they changed the title. They kept much of the body of the piece itself. But the New York Times, Maureen, have been carrying the water for the Kennedys. We found this one, July 1969. By the way, if we don't land on the moon, I guarantee Ted Kennedy does not continue his career in the Senate. But we landed on the moon. His big brother bailed him out. Here's the New York Times headline after Chappaquiddick. Ted Kennedy killed Mary Jo Kopechne. Woman passenger killed. Kennedy escapes in crash. Senator tells the police he wandered about in shock after car ran off bridge near Martha's Vineyard. That's what the New York Times been doing for this family for like the last 80 years. And 2 weeks ago, they finally changed a little bit, but then they changed the headline back.
Exactly. You know, progress is never linear, right? It's always 2 steps forward, 1 step back. I love that you showed that headline from 69, by the way. Woman killed. Her name wasn't even worth mentioning, which is why Ask Not exists. It was Mary Jo Kopechne. The Daily News had the same headline that weekend. It was Blonde Drowns, like Teddy lives. She was just a blonde. You know, I mean, yes, I could not agree more. And it seems that the New York Times is beginning to wake up and beginning to get the memo. However, I do believe that hack, again, the Nerve is an asteroid coming at many entities and people. Maureen Dowd is among them.
Yes.
I believe she did an interview with him over at his apartment, if I'm not correct. She was so charmed by him.
It's a creepy
Such a gentleman.
place, by the way, his apartment. That whole space is just creepy. This whole thing is creepy. What did Maureen Dowd say?
I think she was just very charmed by him and by his You know their whole line that they always sling out. We don't need to serve. We do it for you.
Right.
We're not asking for Kennedys anymore. Okay. We've had it with this family, this mentally ill, my opinion. He has come after me and called me a vile name that he thinks rhymes with a female body part.
Yes. I saw that.
The code words, Rob, I love. I love the code words. Erratic, unhinged.
Here's Jack on Andy Cohen's podcast talking about what kind of girl single and still looking 33-year-old Jack wants to find.
What kind of girl are you looking for?
Hard worker.
Yes.
All I like to do is work.
Really?
Yeah, work.
Yeah, that's
what I like doing.
Yeah, that's your love language.
Yeah, my love language is work.
Yes. But Jack likes to work.
Yeah.
All right, Maureen, 30 seconds. You were just mentioning this. Isn't he like a prolific napper?
Again, I believe these are all codes for drugs. Andy, you've been doing this long enough. The follow-up question is, show me your resume, you dolt. These two idiots. Oh, your love language is work. What a conversation.
And he's going to lose the primary, by the way.
Thankfully.
The podcast is The Nerve. It is 2 weeks from Tuesday. Maureen Callahan, great to have you back. Look forward to seeing you soon.
Thanks for having me, Rob.
Thank you.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.